Hey, what up, guys? So, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of the day it is, wherever you're at. Okay, so what I wanted to do was make a video um, for some of you guys that's in the pressure washing business and that may be starting. So I have an ebook coming out soon. Uh, 7 things you should know before you start your pressure washing business or any business uh, in regards. But towards the end of the book, it's geared towards the 2.5 gallon per minute pressure washer that I started my business with last year, and I still use till today. And if you go on my YouTube page, subscribe and leave a comment, I still use it today. Now, I'm not saying that this pressure washer does not take more time consuming a job, especially the type of jobs that I do. I usually do 15, 2,500 square feet or more. 1,500 square feet is not huge, but for this one here and doing the flat work, usually take a little bit more time. But what I wanted to do was show you guys, let me push this back just a little bit, to never ever throw away your humble beginnings. I almost made the mistake in doing that, so I came out this morning, took my hoses out of the trash because trash go out tomorrow, and I wanted to just make a quick video for you guys. So listen, if you're in the pressure washing business or want to start a pressure washing business, you can do it with this here. This is the perfect way to start your business and learn all of the basics. You can damage properties as well with this here, but it's less of a headache if you do it because it's not pushing out that much volume and PSI. This is a 3,200 PSI, 2.5 gallon a minute. But starting off right here is the best knowledge you could have. Don't listen to people that say start with a 4 gallon per minute, start with a 5 gallon per minute, 8. The reason I say that, not to kick on anybody's heels, but to say that if you're a beginner and you have not gotten your feet wet at least for a year, you need to start with something that's small where you would appreciate something more valuable or that has a little bit more or less struggle that you'll have day to day, which would be more efficient. So a 2.5 gallon a minute is the perfect way to start your business. I wish that I had not went so far ahead and did so much research, which made me feel as if I didn't have the proper machine. And I watch those videos today and I take away and I add to what I need per day as I use this 2.5 gallon. So the moral to the story is your humble beginnings. I started with and still use today a 2.5 gallon per minute. When I told my girl, I said, honey, I'm gonna get in the pressure wash business. So last year, they decided to get me a birthday gift, which was this 2.5 gallon per minute. They didn't know. They don't know about pressure washing. They say that looks pretty good. It costs $400. It must be a pretty good one. I didn't know the game, and I knew about pressure washing, but not the proper equipment. So I'm glad they started me off with something like this so I could learn the business from the ground floor up. So as I was saying, I started with a 2.5 gallon per minute machine. My wife got me a surface cleaner. This is the beginning. 25 feet and about a 12-inch max 37 psi. This is how I started, guys. 25 feet of wire gauge, and you know the troubles. If you're really into the pressure washing game, you know this is a headache. So me still being not experienced, I was like, man, I need more feet. I didn't know about downstreaming. I didn't know downstream was on this equipment. Let me see if I can show you guys. Bear with me. I didn't know that a downstreaming was on here right here. That's because I didn't know. I didn't know what downstreaming was, guys. I didn't know that. I was new in the game, right? So I'm gonna set back up. Bear with me. As I said, I'm doing this on the fly. So I didn't know what downstreaming was. So I'm like, I'm watching videos. I'm watching the guys pull liquid from buckets. So what I did was order you'll build one of these up in time. If you're new to the game, you'll build up a throwaway bag or box in time. So I bought my downstream. I bought this not knowing that they had one on the machine. This is new. I've hardly ever used it, just some bleach in my other ones. But that's right. That's what I did. I bought that because I thought I had to put it on the end of the out pressure outline going to downstream. And I was like, cool, I'm gonna downstream and learn soft washing all like in a job. So I got this 5-gallon bucket after watching Diane's vlog, incredible guy that taught me so much. So I'm trying to downstream after buying this, and y'all know I told you I had 25 foot of line, and this surface cleaner, it works good on here just like that. So I'm like, I need more line because I have to pull this around every time I do a house, like 9 times and get tangled up. So I figured I'll go with this. 50 more feet. Add it to this. Right? Right there. And my wife decided to get this one here, this 20-inch surface cleaner, because she was like, well, we need to get you a wider one. She got this, not knowing this won't really work as good with this machine when you get on a job. If you know, I have new like basically new cement here. You can do a job expeditiously with that on new, but when you have plenty mold and mildew build up, you can't really, you'll be hours. And I learned it the hard way, right? Which is not bad. I still use it on mildew and gum. Go to my page, subscribe, and you will see, man. You'll see I still use this machine, and I have newer machines. I just haven't broke out with it yet. So I got 50 foot. I had the 25. I had the 12 or 14, whatever this is. And she bought this also. I've been had this gas can for many years. As you see, my truck is a 94. So I've been having this truck since 2007. And I had this gas can when I was in Mississippi. So imagine, I have all of this here. And I'm doing jobs. And I go to pull my soap from my downstream. And it's not working. So I forgot to tell you, I had bought 100-foot hose of this kind. I threw it away last week. I was just that mad with it. Anyway, that's another story. So I tried the 100-foot hose on here. It wouldn't pull my downstream. I have a video on that in my ebook that I put out, how many feet that you should use on a 2 p.m. which would draw your soap, right? So I have this stuff and I'm trying to figure out why it's not downstreaming with the black hose, 100-foot hose. And I realized, oh no, I'm going ahead of myself. I was using this here and pulling from this, right? It won't pull from here. This downstream will not pull on this machine with 75 feet. It will not. Hold on a minute. It will not pull. So I'm wondering, I already had a 5-gallon full of bleach. So what it's doing is going back in. It's going back into my water, right? This downstream that I was using, I'm gonna demonstrate it. Give me a second. I'm teaching you guys. Everything's accessible. So I was downstreaming, guys. From here, I can turn it around since y'all see what I'm using. So I was downstreaming from here with the bucket in, right? Make sure y'all can see it on the camera. Back up a little bit. I'm showing you guys. So as I was trying to downstream with my gun in and trying to pull soap on 75 feet, it won't downstream, right? It was pouring water back into the bucket. These are mistakes that if you're not starting off from the bottom, you know, you will know about the things when you're getting further up that won't happen. So I'm glad I started and still use it because I know everything about a 2.5 wood that will work. I can tell you guys, if you have a 2.5, you can do it. But here's the catch. To downstream with the 75 foot, right? I had to plug it up here directly to the machine, and it pulled wonderful. Don't know the ratio, didn't care. Don't care about the ratio because it's getting it clean. It's getting it clean, and it's not enough because I use a 10.5 8 SH that will not damage anything. You know, it's not going to damage. It's right above that, and I learned that from my man Dan's vlog. When I started pressure washing, he's all I watched because it made sense and it was simple, real simple. It wasn't as much as a camaraderie in finding out everything you need, right? Everything you need was just simple with the wine, downstream, pulling soap, and what to mix it with, which was Dawn soap. So this is my humble beginnings, and I tell everybody it's in my ebook that I'm putting out, 7 things you need to know when getting into the pressure wash business from a 2.5 gallon perspective, period. And starting your business financially with the bank setup, LLC, different things like that I'll tell you guys in my ebook, all right? So be on the lookout for that. It's all about starting from the ground up, your humble beginnings. You can't start with a 4 gallon per minute and not understanding pressure, PSI. You don't understand pressure, you know, you can really tear something up or hurt yourself. You know, if you start with a 4 gallon per minute, not understanding volume, right? Volume is how much water comes out, guys. I know y'all looking at me like, who is this guy here with a 2.5 gallon? But guess what? I make good money. You know what my salary is per hour with this machine? Easily $150 an hour. Easily. I'm an older guy. I'm telling y'all now, younger guys, and even some older that may think you need this hyped up equipment. You don't even know how to run it. You don't know what pressure, you don't know what water, you don't know what high pressure is, you don't know what water volume is, but you want to start off with this right here. 4 gallons a minute, 5 gallons a minute, 8 gallons a minute. AR-45, you want to start off there, but you need to start from the humble beginnings. You know, haven't anybody told y'all your humble beginnings will teach you and continue to let your pack grow? So don't worry about getting a 4 gallon per minute basic to start. This is my basic right here. 2.5 gallon per minute was my basic. And if I'm doing it, you can do it. So I want to give a small shout out to my #1 guy to watch. He's kind of rough. A lot of people had problems with him. Was Dan Vlogs, Pressure Pros, Doug Rucker, David, is it Billy Davidson? I like to watch Young Ambition. I forgot K Davis. I forgot the little guy name. I just watched his video with tips. There's a lot of you guys, man. Pressure World. Never work for anybody again. Self-employment. It's just so many of you guys, but you know my main guys are Pressure Pro, Young Ambition, Doug Rucker, Billy Davidson, you know, Dan's Vlog. These are the guys I watch because they're older guys. They can really tell you. Dan Vlog's an older guy, right? Probably my age, half a century. Doug Rucker, I know he's a half a century. Pressure Pro, probably look like he's a half a century. Billy Davidson, half a century. These guys know the game. And the reason I'm gonna tell you how get into the pressure business, go along with handyman service, which that's what I am, a handyman. I started off painting. I'm a very good painter. But I wanted to reduce the stress on my body, and I knew that if I learned this game here, in the long run, it will not allow me to be so physically beat up during the day. Now, if you're having a system like this right now, I'm still getting beat up because, hold on a minute, guys. I'm still getting beat up because I still have to, I don't tote it around as much because when I drive this truck, I pull up next to my area and it's 75 feet of hose, right? So I can get from here easily across the street with this right here. Easily across the street over there into their driveway. So I'm not pulling it around as much. I sit my bucket here, hold my soap, set my surface cleaners out, and I go to work. It's a less headache, and that's why I say I don't even use my 4 gallon right now. And I'm gonna show you something, guys. Just so you guys could understand, it's not that I'm not getting myself prepared to be more efficient. You see that? That's 100 foot of hose right there. That's the line you need. And my passerby right there, my reels, you know. The 4 gallon, I didn't get belt drive because I was still learning this year because I've been using that so much. I knew I should have got a belt drive, right? But I'll get one next year. I barely use it. I'm still using this. So I'm in the long haul with this. I'm not an emergency to start off with this one because I still use this. Is effective for me, right? So I took my time and I built this here for larger areas like the hotel I'm at. I drive this around because I thought about something more efficient other than pulling the 2.5 gallon, guys. So here's the deal. You don't need to start with a 4 gallon per minute or an 8 or 5. 7. You don't need to hook the Siamese twins up and get 8 from a 2.5 and a 4 to make 6.5 gallons. You don't need it. If you want to start your business the proper way in pressure washing and learn from the ground up, this system right here, this is what I started with, right here, not this, was under $600. $500-600, guys. That's it. That's it. So you can work a McDonald's, whatever, for 1 month. Save all your money. If you don't have to pay any rent, you can start off with this here and become $150 an hour guy with some experience. As long as you get you about 4 houses in, and you can start charging like about an hour. If you don't understand how to bid for a job, just have a bottom line. Like my bottom line for one storage is like for one storage, right? I'm gonna take you guys around. This would be like a one storage for me. I'll charge my bottom line to come around here, and you have flat on here would be 150 just to start. That's the bottom line until I upbid. Most of the time I upbid, right? I upbid my clients because they're gonna need something else done when I get there, as a handyman should know. That's why if you're young, 18, 19, 17, learn some handyman tactics to upskill yourself, because if you know how to paint, not a lot, you may know how to paint just a little enough to apply paint on some surfaces that need touch-up. You can upscale that. So I think I've covered everything from that perspective of humble beginnings. I use this until today, guys. Right now, I still use it because it makes me good money. I'll be transforming this truck sometime this year if I have the time and I find someone who can help me get it together. All right, and help me get it together, and that's it, man. But other than that, you don't need to really start a pressure wash business. You don't need to start, not really need. You don't need to start with a 4 gallon per minute. And I know I may be kicking on some heels, but remember, guys, those guys are into selling products when they tell you that. Or they're saying it's more efficient. I'm not saying they're wrong for efficient, but to start, let me get closer, to start a pressure wash business, all you need is that setup. Right? Pull that sucker around, pull it around that house. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all done got lazy? You can't walk, you can't use your arms. Pull it around that house and get that money. If you have 5 houses lined up, you'll be lined up enough with more experience from this machine. You can say, okay, I'll buy me a 4 gallon per minute. Not with everything, not with the hoses, not you just starting off and a little bit at a time for getting geared up for the next year. You see? That's all you need is the 2.5 gallon per minute. They may call me the 2.5 gallon king by time is over, because that's all I use. Go to my videos, you'll see me doing hotels with this. You see me doing 2,300 square feet with the flat work using this. It takes me time. I'm not in a rush. Why am I in a rush to people's property, on people's property? So why are you guys in a rush so much on people's property? Oh, it's more efficient than to get me out of there. Yeah, well, sometimes people want to see, they're paying $900. They want to see you for a couple of hours. It makes them feel good. It makes them know that they're spending money that makes them understand, hey, I like this service. He took his time. He made sure every detail was done properly. He even did some extra stuff. And I tipped him off, but I will keep him for next year. You rushing to get out of there, not understanding that clients, because I'm a client myself. I have a home and I have people come in here do pest control. If something wrong with my cable or my satellite, my cameras up here, they come out and I watch them, and they take their time and explain stuff to me by rebooting something, you know. It's more, it gives a better rapport for you and the customer. So I'm not in a rush, you know, guys. I'm not in a rush always to get out of there. I take my time. Yeah, you might not want to be in there for 5 hours, 6 hours, but it has taken me that long. Let me get back. It has taken me that long with this system. I remember one time me and my girl was doing that floor pause, but yeah, we was doing a house, big old house, maybe 2,700 square feet, 25. It took us 5.5 hours. The video is up there. It's up on my page, and I'll come back and load it up if I can find it. It's on my old page, Sensei versus DJ1. But listen, guys, you don't need to start off with a 4 gallon per minute, an 8. You don't need the AR-45, the gas for salt. You don't need to start there. Start humble and learn the game, man. And I'm out.